And welcome back to the channel where we talk about only good comics. I'm Brant, and this is Friday First on location. I'm at a hotel because we are at a music festival this weekend setting up with our various products. So I apologize for the backdrop. Don't have my usual setup here, and hopefully the quality is okay. But we have a lot of books to cover this week. So there are a lot of firsts this week. There are a lot of honorable mentions, and I've already read four books. So I've got some recaps as well. So let's dive right into those recaps. So we're going to start off with G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Jinx, issue number one. This is the second, I think, of these silent interlude one shots that they are putting out with different creative teams. The first one was Beachhead, which was really good. This is in celebration of that very first silent issue that changed, comics forever. That introduced Storm Shadow to the GI Joe universe back in the day, with issue 21 of the original run of Real American Hero, which is still going on, still written by Larry Hama. Just has changed companies a couple of times, but anyway, so this is the second one. This is featuring Jinx. I believe Dan Waters is the writer. I don't have it pulled up right now, so I don't remember who the artist is. But let's see if I can make out the graphic. I cannot make out the graphic, and this might not be Dan Waters either. I can't actually make out the creative team. My apologies if I got that wrong. I know he's writing one of them, but anyway, this one featured Jinx trying to get out of a compound that was filled with Crimson Guards, where a bomb was about to go off. So you see her find the bomb, and it starts counting down. So every page it counts down another second because she's got like I can't remember if it was like 7 seconds or 13 seconds. It was a really short time, and so you see her taking out Crimson Guards, trying to get out before the bomb explodes. Obviously, it's Jinx, so of course she's going to get out. So that's not really spoiling anything. But as far as the overall presentation of the book, I felt like Beachhead was a little bit stronger art wise. I felt like it was the art in the Beachhead book was very descriptive, and you could really tell the story being told there. Now, this one, obviously, the story was easy to tell because it's literally her just trying to escape. But I felt like the art wasn't as emotive to kind of tell the story without the words. So it wasn't. It was a little bit more stiff and stilted, in my opinion, but I still enjoyed it. I thought it still told the story well, and I like that they're celebrating the silent issue thing. So yeah, there you go. That's GI Joe, A Real American Hero, Jinx, issue one. So the next book we're going to talk about is a book that I almost didn't pick up, which is Golden Rage, Mother Knows Best, issue one. This is the follow up to Golden Rage, the previous miniseries. And I told you all last week that I read an issue or two of that original miniseries, but I don't think I finished it. So I wasn't really sure where things left off. I know there was some kind of drama with one of the women's mothers because she's trapped on this island with her mom and they don't really get along. And then she apparently had a more aggressive stance on how to take care of things. So basically, the premise of this book, this whole series, is women, once they reach menopause and they're no longer able to produce children, they are all sent to this island basically to live out the rest of their lives and die. And now we found out that someone is coming to kill them, supposedly, to take them all out. So this first issue opens up, and there's splinter groups of these women where they don't agree on how to handle things. Some of them don't believe anybody's coming. They think that was just something to keep them all in line. Others are kind of, I don't know, they're fracturing and they're not together, both plan wise and mentally. And the one woman that they put in charge, half the group doesn't trust, and she's always out on her own, and she's not really a people person and everything. But while she's out on her own, she discovers something that changes everything. So really big cliffhanger at the end of this issue. It is an interesting concept, an interesting story, and I thought this was a pretty solid first issue. It was a decent jumping on point. It kind of recapped what you needed to know, which is really basically the plot. Is the you don't really need to know more than that. But then the way it that it left off, I think it was enough to pique curiosity to come back for that second issue. So pretty solid issue. Next up, we have Absolute Batman issue number 7. This is a brand new story arc, guest artist for these 2 issues. It's a 2-issue story where we introduce Mr. Freeze, or Victor Freeze Jr., as it were, in this book. So we start off interestingly where Pennyworth is left, Bruce is injured, but of course he's not going to stay out of the action. And his friend group, which is, if you're new to the Absolute books, everything is different here. So his friend group is actually a bunch of villains. They're not villains yet, but we have Two-Face and Penguin and Killer Croc and the Riddler are his friend groups. And then we find out that there's another one that's been in different penitentiaries, if I can say the word, over the past many years, which is the infamous Matches Malone. And obviously, anybody that knows Batman history knows that name very well. So apparently, in this universe, they're all friends. And Bruce is trying to get into Arkham and try to figure out what's going on. And Matches Malone happens to be his in. So we get to see him actually die very early on. So we're kind of telling the story of what happened to him and why, and what the secret is that Arkham is holding back that Batman has to discover. And that's where Mr. Freeze comes in. And as we leave the issue, things aren't looking great for Bruce. So storytelling wise, really solid issue. Strong introduction for Victor Freeze. We got to see the recap of his childhood and how he got to this point as well. The art style, though, I did not care for. It's such a jarring change from what we had been getting in this book. It's completely different, and it just makes the characters look like totally different characters and everything. So I didn't really like the art change at all, but I still like the storytelling in this book. And finally, we have the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1. Relaunching here with Joe Kelly writing, Pepe Larraz on art, and then there's a backup story with John Romita Jr. art. But it's a shorter story focused on Norman Osborn. So this lead story is mostly about Peter trying to get a job and failing miserably. And in the process, he is about to land this job, and the Rhino is rampaging through the city. So, of course, he has to leap into action and stop that. And he doesn't understand what's going on. Rhino is out of control. He's not speaking. And then he apparently has a heart attack. And so Spider-Man is trying to get to the bottom of all this. Obviously, there's more going on here. We learn who's behind all this. We follow the breadcrumbs that are left for us. And Peter is still in the dark. But in the meantime, we have him meeting up with Aunt May, going to dinner with some friends. So there's a good balance in this issue, actually, of action, of Peter's personal woes and his supporting cast and interacting with them. There's a decent scene with Shay, and then there's focus on the villains and everything. So and it didn't feel overwhelming. It felt like everything was nice, organic flow to it, and very well balanced. And I know a lot of people are talking about, isn't this book supposed to be focused on his younger years? It does delve into that a little bit, but it's mostly in flashbacks, as this character that comes into play is from his youth. So we're going to go back and forth a little bit. I thought the art was pretty decent, except for a few scenes. Some characters looked a little bit off for me. And then the backup story with Norman Osborn. Sorry. Squeaky door on the other side of the room. The backup story with Norman Osborn was him about to resign from Oscorp, and then because of the events that take place, someone tries to kill him. He decides, no, I'm going to stay. So I won't spoil the reasoning behind all that and everything, but it is a little bit meaningful. At the same time, it's clear that we're not letting Norman off the hook that easily yet. So I appreciate that aspect of it at the very least. So all in all, this was a better Spider-Man book than we've gotten in a long time for me personally. I wasn't a huge fan of the 8 deaths, but it was still a little bit stronger than the previous run for me, and this seems to be starting off on the right track, at least for me personally. So I don't know how you felt about it, but I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. So that is Amazing Spider-Man. So that is all the recaps that I have this week. So let's get into those first. Actually, we'll start with the honorable mentions, which I do have quite a few of those as well. All right, so several of these honorable mentions are Superman related. So the first one here is the Summer of Superman special. Superman's new era begins here, and this is a 48-page book for $5.99, and it has the talents of Mark Waid and Jorge Jimenez uh, doing the scripting and art duties in this one. Special oversized issue. And Dan Slott is involved in this one as well. So we're going to see what the future holds for Superman in this one. So definitely, I didn't realize how big this one. This probably shouldn't have been an honorable mention. This should have been my regular list, but I kind of lumped all the Superman stuff together because there's several of them. But I'm going to give this one kind of an honorary rating. I don't usually rate the honorable mentions, but for this one, I will. And I'm going to give this one a potentially good. And we'll see what this one has in store for us. But I'm actually really curious about this one now. I should have read more into it before making the graphic for it, I guess. So, next up is another Superman related title, which is a special edition of All Star Superman. This is Superman Day 2025 celebration. So if you missed this, if you didn't get to read this when it came out, or if you just want to pick up a copy of this, to celebrate Superman, this is written by Grant Morrison, art by Frank Whiteley. Pretty good read. They made an animated movie out of it. Go check this one out as well. Next up, we have Superman for All Seasons, a Superman Day 2025 special edition for this one as well, written by Jeff Loeb, art by Tim Sale. So if you're a fan of those creators working together, did a lot of the color books like Daredevil Yellow, etc. This will be one for you to check out as well if you've missed this one in the past. And then the final Superman one is Superman Day 2025, Jimmy Olsen's Super Cyclopedia Special Edition #1. And this is written by Gabe Soria with art by Sandy Jarrell. And I don't know what the original publication dates for these are, but these are like reprints, obviously, in celebration of Superman Day for this year. So if you are a big Superman fan, you want to celebrate Superman Day, these are ones to pick up. Next up, we're heading over to Marvel with Godzilla vs. Hulk, issue #1. This is the second in these series of one-shots. There's 6 of them in total. And this one is written by Jerry Duggan with art by Giuseppe Camicoli, so top-notch creative team here. The reason it's an honorable mention instead of ratings is because I don't really buy these kind of books. So, but I definitely did want to make mention of this for any Godzilla fans, any collectors of anything kaiju like that, any crossovers like this. Excuse me, you'll definitely want to be aware of this one. And then next, it's 2 books in one, is Youngblood and Youngblood Deluxe, both issue #1s, reprints, obviously. It says this is for Youngblood #1. It says this all-new 32-page comic written and illustrated by Youngblood creator Rob Liefeld is packed with dynamic action, intrigue, etc. So actually, I guess this one might be brand new. And then Youngblood Deluxe is the Ultimate Collector's Edition, rescripted, recolored, and relettered from the 1992 original. So we got a brand new #1 plus a reprint. So if you're a big Youngblood fan, you'll definitely want to pick up both of these and check that out. So that is all our shout outs. So let's get into those rated books. Okay, first up we have Web of Venomverse Fresh Brains issue #1. Says the Venomverse is upon us. This is a 32-page book for $4.99, written by several writers. We got Erica Schultz, Chris Eliopoulos, Matt Groom, David Dastmalchian. Um, and this story features three new symbiotes who could put as it says, the spiders at the edge of their webs. Um, Even one called Venom Mouse and Katie Power, actually. So that could be interesting. Um, that said, I'm not too huge on the Venomverse. These aren't typically ones that I go out of my way for. So I'm going to give this one a possibly good. I'm not sure if I'm going to check it out or not. It depends on how many books I'm actually getting. We'll see. But it sounds like it has some potential. But yeah, I'll stick with possibly good for this one. Next up is G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Spirit, issue number 1. This is the third in this line of silent interlude one-shots. I mentioned Jinx earlier, and I enjoyed the Beachhead one quite a bit as well. So this one is written and illustrated by Leonardo Romero. So I'm not really familiar with their work. It says Birds of Prey. So anyway, Spirit and Freedom investigate mysterious disappearances in this nearby forest. The entire issue is silent in celebration of that silent interlude that I talked about earlier. So I'm looking forward to this one. Like I said, I'm a big G.I. Joe fan anyway, so I'm going to give this one actually a promisingly good. Next up, we have a new book from Image Comics from the Syzygy Publishing imprint, which is Moonshine Bigfoot, issue 1. I know nothing about this. It's set in the 80s. There's clueless cops, reckless rivals, straight out of an 80s like action movie kind of thing. There's this big cabal, and this dude who's partner in life and crime, Amethyst, is about to learn about some problems that can't be handled just by going all in on the action and everything. This one is written by Mike Marlowe and Zach Howard, with art by Steve Ellis. So I do like Zach Howard, but we'll see. We'll see what kind of story this has. I'll probably try out the first issue with this one. Sounds kind of interesting, and I like goofy 80s stuff from time to time. So I'm going to give this one a possibly good, though, because I just don't know what to expect from this. It does seem to have some elements in it that I would like, but it just depends on how it's structured and if I like the art style and all that good stuff. You know how it goes. Next up is a new one from Mad Cave called Buried Long, Long Ago. And this is based on true events of this woman who would lure all these men into her farm in Indiana and murdered them for their money. And it was she avoided capture and trial and all this stuff. And it says a lot of the story is kind of remains untold, but this is a fairy tale retelling of this story, and it's told from the perspective of her kids, her three young children, who discover that there's something worse than her mother on this farm, something buried long, long ago, as it says. So they're adding a supernatural bend to it. This is written by Anthony Cleveland, who I'm not familiar with, but the art is by Alex Cormack, who I'm very familiar with. Does a book called Sync, did some stuff for Dark Horse IDW. Perfect artist for like a horror style book. So this could be really interesting. And again, I am always singing the praises of Mad Cave. I'm going to give this one a potentially good, though, because I got to take it in. I haven't seen any previews for this. I don't know which way they're going with this. Like if it's going super gruesome, which direction it's going with it. So, yeah, I'll stick with that for Buried Long, Long Ago, potentially good. Next, we have the latest in the Valiant Beyond. This is all new Harbinger issue 1. And this, if you haven't been watching the show, if you're not familiar with what's going on here with these, Valiant has basically done their own version of the Ultimate Universe or Absolute Universe. And this is a completely different universe than their main continuity. So they're reintroducing all these characters, all these teams with a new paint job, basically. And so this one is a brand new version of the Team Harbinger. And this features, let me find the characters in the description here. Okay, it features Archer from Archer and Armstrong, Flamingo, Alloy, and Crane, and they're the protectors of their city. And then there's this terrorist Black Sheep who takes a building hostage, and Archer, and the newest member of Harbinger, is kind of center stage and has to, you know, kind of put it all on the line. It's his trial by fire, as it says here. And this is a 3-issue story arc for this new era, 28 pages, from Fred Van Lente, who did a lot of the Archer and Armstrong stuff in the modern, rebirth of Valiant, and from artist and Andres Ponce, who did Punk Mambo, the Punk Witch project. So yeah, very cool stuff. I'm going to give Valiant Beyond Harbinger, all new Harbinger, issue 1 a potentially good. And I still haven't read any of the Valiant Beyond stuff. I'm a little behind on my reading because we've been doing back-to-back shows and stuff like that. But I'm still curious about this entire side universe of theirs, and I definitely want to check it out. So, yeah, potentially. All right, next up we have Wonder Woman issue number 20. This is a brand new story arc where Batman is guest starring for an all-star team-up. And this is after the Sovereign has been defeated by Diana after that long arc. So now Batman is helping Diana solve a murder on the Mount Olympus. So that's all the information we need. All you need to know is Batman and Wonder Woman teaming up to solve a murder in Olympus. That's kind of cool. Still written by Tom King. And this is a 40-page book for $4.99, artist by Gilliam March. So I've been enjoying Tom King's run on Wonder Woman. I think it's been a really, really fun, really solid read. So I'm going to give this one a promisingly good. Next, we have Wolverine issue number 8, which is the legacy numbering of 400 for this book. 400th issue of Wolverine. And it's a huge issue, 64 pages, $7.99. And it says Wolverine faces off with the Adamantine. So it's still continuing the arc that we've been in, the story where this basically the adamantium that's been in all these people has come alive, and it's, there's an advanced version. Everybody's turning gold. All his former allies and foes are involved in this, and it's this big conspiracy. The Wendigo, who he's found and has been trying to help, is pulled into a trap in this issue. And it says the Wolverine story you never thought you'd see begins here. And this is written by Saladin Ahmed, and another reason to buy this issue, Daniel Warren Johnson, who is also doing some of the art along with Martin Kokolo. So huge thing for a Wolverine book to get Daniel Warren Johnson writing and art in this book. I'm super excited about that, actually. I kind of dropped off of Wolverine. I was reading it consistently, and then I got kind of bored with the Adamantine story. But now that we have this and we're going into Legacy, I think I'm going to pick this up, and I'm actually going to change my rating because I didn't notice the Daniel Warren Johnson of it earlier. So I'm going to give this one a promisingly good for Wolverine number 8 or Wolverine number 400. Key issue. Definitely pick this one up and check it out. Promisingly good from me. And finally, we have Superior Avengers issue number 1. This is Dr. Doom's version of the Avengers, and it is he's taken over the world. It's One World Under Doom tie-in, obviously, and this is written by Steve Fox with art by Luca Maresca. 32-page book for $4.99, and he's been building this, as he calls it, this new iteration of Earth's Mightiest Heroes. But who are they? We don't know who they are exactly yet. We're going to find out hopefully in this issue. We'll see. Some of the armaments, some of the outfits look a little familiar. We'll see exactly who are under the masks, though, because it could be interesting. I'm very curious about this one. I've enjoyed most of what I've read from One World Under Doom, so I'm definitely going to check this one out as well. And I'm going to give this one a potentially good, though, because it's all going to come down to who the team members actually are for me. And then we'll see what happens with that. So potentially good for Superior Avengers. All right, so that's all the rated books. That's all the first. So we're going to talk about a few other books that I am looking forward to, and we'll break those down right now. So Absolute Flash issue number 2. I really like that first issue, and now Flash is on the run from the Rogue. So we're going to see how that all plays out. In Ultimate Wolverine number 4, it's basically the fallout from what happened last issue. I just read last issue today, actually, so that's kind of funny. But basically, he has this interaction with Gambit and Kitty Pryde and Natasha, but mostly with Gambit and Kitty Pryde because they knew him before he became the Winter Soldier. So they knew him and thought he was dead and everything. So they have this kind of thing, and he is left disoriented on the side of the road. And so this issue is kind of delving into that a little bit because it's kind of it's broken through the shell a little bit. So we'll see exactly how that plays out. In Flash Gordon issue number 8, Flash Gordon has to team up with this mysterious Princess Aura and kind of help her out and see what that's all about. So that's always a good time. Exceptional X-Men number 8. Axo is still, he's in the clutches of Dr. Xenos, who is actually secretly someone else. I won't spoil it here, but you all know probably if you've been reading this book. So things are kind of not great there. So we're going to see how that plays out as well. In TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 8, Donnie has a psychological break. We know that since they found him, he's been talking to this pet rat of his. He thinks Splinter reincarnated or something. And so in this issue, he has a full-on break, and we're going to see what kind of impact that has for the Turtles. In X Factor number 9, Havoc is possibly rejoining the team, and Archangel, he feels some type of way about it. So we're going to see how he handles his former teammate rejoining the crew. In Redcoat number 11, there is this unnamed warrior called the Northerner that nobody knows about, but he could be this huge threat. And Simon Peer is going to come into contact with him, and it has some kind of implications for the rest of the line. So he has some kind of connection to Geiger and Junkyard Joe, etc. So we're going to see what that's all about. And then in Rogue Sun number 26, Radiant Black is guest starring for a team up in this issue. So really excited about that as well. But with that said, that's all you get from me from this on-location version of Friday First here in the hotel room. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the different scenery. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. And, of course, hit that subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss any of the episodes. Of course, you can follow me across social media at OnlyGoodComics or type in OnlyGoodComics.com to take you right back to this YouTube channel where we talk about only good comics. Until next time, thanks for watching. Take care. Keep reading those comics, and I'll see you soon. Bye.